What's good, everybody? You have found yourself back in the middle of another Watchmen, the 82 podcast. It is your boy, Wally Analog, and I'm joined by my homie, the resident elitist, Mr. 1%, Rolls Royce Elite. Salutations. Look, again, as we always say when we start the Watchmen podcast, we pride ourselves in bringing people that provide different perspectives, a variety of different people from all walks of life. And I am particularly excited this evening to have a member of my family. She is my geek aunt in the family. You know, at the holidays, we always get together, drink wine, and talk about geek and nerd stuff.
You pull her to the side?
Yeah, we go to the side because she's cooking too. It's so delicious. So we sit and we eat and we drink and we talk about nerd stuff. Miss Lisa Hester, my Aunt Lisa is what I call her. Welcome tonight.
Thank you. I usually pull him aside to talk.
That is correct. She and I'll give her an opportunity to give you all her background as it relates to both geek culture and personal. But just real quick on the geek culture, she is a wealth of knowledge in Star Trek. Isn't that right?
I love Star Trek.
She loves Star Trek. She's got a room that is dedicated to just all. It's full of memorabilia. Just it's a complete Star Trek room.
Wow. It is.
But Yoda snuck in there somehow.
I like Star
Yoda
Wars.
Get in there?
I like Star Wars, but I love Star Trek.
Yes.
Are you watching Discovery?
Yes.
Like the new ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
It took me a minute because I'm old school.
Right.
I didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah, true. And then Picard is coming out in January.
He is. Mm-hmm.
Yes. She shared with me that she's seen every episode of every Star Trek.
Over and over and over.
Every. Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Do you have a favorite episode?
I love Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
But I was telling Will that I'm in lust.
With Cisco.
With Captain Cisco. I love Avery Brooks. Okay. I love Avery Brooks. I've met him several times.
Is that right?
Yeah,
at conventions and stuff?
Conventions,
Yeah. Did you have your Starfleet uniform? You got a Starfleet uniform. I saw it.
I do. Well, one I've outgrown. My Lieutenant Uhura uniform I've outgrown, so I had to move on to a counselor chore.
Okay. That's what you got to do. So tell everybody about yourself in I guess in the context of Watchmen. Like I said, we like to give perspectives as to the non-Easter egg-ish kind of stuff. And so I know your background as far as, from a racial perspective. Share with the people just who you are and your background and your heritage and things like that, because she shared a lot of stuff with me that I had no idea. I thought I knew. It just blew my mind. So as much as you can give, please share with the people.
Okay, well, I'm of mixed race heritage, but to be honest, most people are of mixed race heritage.
Correct. Right.
But my mother was French Canadian. My father was African American, born here in Nashville. He worked for the railroad, so he was up and down in Canada, and that's where he met my mother in Montreal. And I apologize, I have ongoing asthma, so sometimes my voice goes in.
You're good. It's all good. It's all right.
So he met my mother going up and down to Canada on the railroad. Mm-hmm. My mother was also mixed race, but she looked white. She and her siblings did. Her mother was French Canadian. Her father was Canadian from Nova Scotia.
Wow. Yes, it's about to get heavy.
Yes.
Okay.
And I told Will that I haven't documented it yet, but I believe he's a descendant of the black loyalists, the black Americans who left the United States to fight with England.
Yeah, with the British.
For the American Revolution.
Yeah. Wow. Right.
The reason
that was a thing, apparently.
The reason why I believe that is I've located other relatives through Ancestry, and some of them have documented their relatives back to those lines. They're Jacksons listed in the Book of Negro.
Wow.
The Book of Negro is a document that list all the people, the Black Americans who came to Nova Scotia to fight and settle in Nova Scotia. And their Jacksons listed. They've traced their ancestors back to those Jacksons. My grandfather was a Jackson, and I'm related to these other Jacksons.
Wow.
So I know he has that heritage. I just haven't documented it yet. But anyway, my mother looked white.
Yes. Yeah, this whole time I thought she was pure white.
Yeah, Will didn't know that.
No, she's white.
Her father, he was a light-skinned black man, and he had straight hair. And all her siblings look white. But my mother always lived as a black woman. So she married my father, who was a dark-skinned black man.
And lived in Nashville?
Left Montreal and came
To the south.
to the South
Okay.
in the late 40s.
What?
Right. It just gets better.
Yes, in the late 40s. She lived with my grandparents, my father's parents, well, my father's mother and his stepfather. And she pretty much raised my mother. My mother was an orphan child. And Mama faced discrimination from all sectors. She looked white, so black people didn't trust her.
Wow.
I told Will she'd get on the bus because there was public transportation. We didn't have cars. She'd get on the bus and she'd go to the back of the bus because that's where black people sat. And the bus driver would say, "You don't sit back there, you come back up front." And she wouldn't listen. She'd just go sit in the back. And he would say, "Oh, she's one of those black niggas."
Crazy.
No,
Wow.
one of those white niggers
Crazy.
is what he'd call her, a white nigger. But she just ignored it. So
But she was lily white looking, right?
Yeah.
Like, but she identified like crazy.
she was a black woman.
The original Rachel Dolezal. The original.
And
Crazy.
that's the stupid part about racism too. It's like even the people in power that, I mean, she's choosing to sit in the back of the bus and that offends.
Right.
the white bus driver.
Right. How dare you sit in the back? We don't sit in the back.
Like, why would they care?
Yep. Why would they care?
Right.
Well, she was beautiful too.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
Well, there we
Indeed. Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. So he didn't want a white woman in the back of the bus. But
And probably because when blacks came in, they had to go back there, and he probably didn't want her back there with them, right? Like, come on to the front.
my grandfather, until the day he died, sat in the back of the bus because that's all he knew. He didn't have to. All the bus drivers knew him. They loved him.
This is like after.
This was in the 80s.
Yeah, like after everything.
Yes. But he
Program.
always sat in the back of the bus. That's all he knew.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy. There's a
And we're not talking. This is not ancient history, y'all.
No.
This is still like
this man did this in the 80s, y'all.
like when I was doing the math, it was like the right to vote. Like I was only a few years after that.
Yes.
You know, I was born in 75, so it's like
I was born in 57, and I told Will, I remember segregated parks. We lived in South Nashville, and we lived on a street called Wood Street. It's not there anymore. When 65 came through, we lost that neighborhood. It was on the other side of Fort Negley. And at that time, Fort Negley, the side where Greer Stadium is now, that was the white side of the park. On the other side, where the Cumberland Science Museum, I think it's called something else, Adventure Science Museum, that was the black side of the park. And so we played on that side, and I was a tiny girl, but I remember that. And when we would go, well, what would happen is, and this is a really ironic story, we'd go and play up in the fort. We didn't know what it was. We just knew it was fun to be up there, and all the brick walls and everything were up there. Well, we'd go up there, and the next thing you know, rocks are being thrown at us. We're being run back on our side of the park. But we were telling that story one holiday about how we would play in the park, and we'd be up there, and we'd go up in the top, up on the hills, and these rocks would come flying through, and we'd have to run back. My sister's husband, who's a white man, said, we used to do that too. And they said, really? I said, who was your family? What was your name? I don't remember the name. But he gave the family, and your father-in-law and my sister said, those are the ones that used to run us back on the other side of the park. My sister's husband said, well, I was a little boy then, and they would send me over on the other side of the park for you all to see us and come up to the top of the park so they could run you back down on the other side of the park. And they are married now.
Red.
That's something.
Yeah. Man, see, you don't get this on nobody else's Watchmen podcast. We ain't talking about Watchmen. But we do this just because of some of the things that are raised as far as conversation is concerned by this show. And so when you see people of color reacting a certain way about this show and personalizing it to, to whatever level they see necessary for them, that's why. It's stories like this that makes the Watchmen feel more than just a television show. And I know that sounds really hyperbolic a lot of times, but it really, really isn't, because if you live in a bubble, you don't know, right? And so you can't really get mad at what is essentially ignorance, and people misinterpret that word all the time. They misunderstand that word. We're not speaking towards your level of intelligence. We're just speaking to your level of knowledge or cognizance of any given phenomenon, and that's what a lot of times it is. He was ignorant, and now they're married. You see what I'm saying? He didn't know. He was indoctrinated in a certain way,
right?
Because
he was born into it,
and he doesn't know. And that is one of the things that this show does, is show people. Whether or not you're in a bubble, you need to probably come out. This is happening.
And he was the youngest. See, they were teaching him.
Exactly. This is what you do. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with that heritage and background and those myriad stories, what is your opinion on Watchmen? Because as we stated, you are a geek at heart, and that's why I love you so. But what is it? I mean, what is it about this show that you particularly like, that resonates with you the most? I guess the easy answer would be some of the things that they address racially, but I just like to get everybody's perspective as it relates to that.
Well, it is. From the very first episode, when they showed Tulsa being destroyed and the people being murdered, I said to my husband, people are not going to want to see this. They don't want to see the truth. But what amazed me was the number of people that following week who had no idea that it happened in Tulsa.
Right.
Black and white.
Right. They thought it was just
no
they thought
idea.
It was just some real edgy writing.
Right. But it was history. And people don't want to see that, but we're not taught our history. We're not taught black history.
Not that.
Yes.
They consciously swept that under the rug.
They do. So that's what I like mostly about the series, is that it's in your face and it's telling the truth, and people are afraid of the truth. But we have to show those images. We have to let people know that, how black people have been treated and where they're coming from. And it's painful. It's painful for us, and it's painful for the people who don't want to believe their fathers and their mothers and grandfathers acted that way. People don't want to believe that postcards were sold of people being lynched. Postcards, that's an advertisement of people being lynched. That, Emmett Till, what bothers me so much about Emmett Till is, of course, the fact that a child was killed, brutally murdered for speaking or whistling to a white woman. But the woman that he whistled at finally came forward and said he didn't do this.
Yeah.
That woman is free.
Right.
Bill Cosby's in jail. I think Bill Cosby's guilty. I believe that he did what the people said that he did.
At least a percentage of it.
Yes.
I don't know how much. But
I don't know how much.
Right.
But I believe he did it, and that's my personal opinion.
Right.
Well, it's tough when you have so many people come out on the same exact thing. Like, now there were some people documented that said they lied about it.
Yeah.
But when somebody just keeps coming out and going, yeah, this was a pattern of behavior, again, it's
There's some truth in it.
yeah, right,
And so he's being punished. He should be punished if he did it.
right,
But that shows how unequal our justice system is.
right,
Because this lady's come out and said, I lied on the witness stand.
right,
She's not punished.
correct,
And this
They
child
cite
is dead.
statute of limitations and all of that. And you mentioned pain, and I never really thought of that angle. Members of the white community that had a problem with the first episode or any other episode that highlights white supremacy seem to have an exclusivity clause on pain when they watch this, not realizing that we watch it and hurt too.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I never really thought about that.
like tearing up.
It's like we're looking at this like, man, that's real. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of whether your ancestors were members of those who perpetrated or were victims, the pain is there. And so to try to hoard it all for yourself is ridiculous. And to
Yes.
be offended by it is ridiculous. Because we could have easily turned away and said, I don't want to watch this. This is too much. I can't
Right.
I can't be looking at this. I get enough every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to relive that, you know? So that's very interesting that you mentioned the pain aspect. In my, I guess in my myopic view, I just felt like, I don't know if I'm just desensitized at this point. It's like, yeah, blacks oppressed. Next scene, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
But some of it is so riveting that you can't get by it. But
Right.
we, as people, have kind of learned to be resilient and have had stuff in our face and in our way, and as far as obstacles are concerned. So we just push through, right? We watch the
Yeah.
episode and we push through, deal with it.
Survival.
Exactly. It's a defense mechanism. We've learned it. It's almost innate. I mean, like you said, we've had conversations where we as kids we get to talk about how to behave out here. And, you gotta double, triple your efforts to be half as accepted, or you got to behave a certain way. There's a rule book when stopped by the police. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that we have to deal with, but it's white noise. When stuff like this is introduced to, I guess, members of the white community, it's hard to deal with because they haven't had to, and so now they hoard the pain for themselves.
But
They hoard
to
being the
this
victims.
day, to this very day, there's a monument in the spot where Emmett Till was killed.
Yes, and they're violating it regularly. Yes,
Regularly.
They are. Yes, they go by there and
they
deface and
yes,
defile it
they do.
and disrespect it on a
Yeah.
regular basis.
So
And let's be clear, the people that just continue to stoke these flames of racism, those are the people that are like, we're not characterizing everybody.
Oh,
Right.
no,
Just those.
no.
But we're just saying that
Right,
it exists,
exactly.
and pain is still
Right.
being, is out there. You know what I'm saying?
it
Yeah.
is.
And so
No.
we watched the show, and for a completely with a completely different perspective, right?
Correct.
It's like and on top of the fact that we're nerds and we like the show, and those of us that were familiar with the graphic novel before enjoy it. Those of us that didn't have as much knowledge of the novel like it, so that's what's telling about it, and it makes people go back and look at. And Lisa, did you read the book at all? You did not.
I did
She's
not.
a perfect case study.
I saw the
perfect-
movie, the Watchmen
The movie,
movie.
right.
Because
which is kind of like I would consider
I
the
did
mo-
that too. because I wasn't familiar with the book as far as
Yeah.
the content.
I would consider the movie being more of a Cliff Notes version
Exactly, with a different ending.
with a different ending.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. There was no squid in the movie, obviously.
But the squid is in the book.
The squid is in the book. That's why
Okay.
when you saw in the episode that squid, that's what really happened instead of the orchestrated nuclear bomb or whatever.
Right.
So I guess they thought the squid would have been a little bit too weird in the theaters, and so they stayed away from it. But at the same time, it doesn't sully anyone's view on how good this show is. And
And to your point, I mean, this show, along with the graphic novel, is a work of art.
yes, it is.
And I was having a discussion with a friend today, and we were talking about art versus entertainment. This show goes beyond that. It's a work of art.
It is.
It's entertaining you, but at the same time, it's also it's voicing. It's holding up a mirror, or it's asking the public to look at themselves or look at the world around them and observe.
Yes.
It's the artist it's almost the artist's mission to use their voice through art to get the message out. You know, entertainment is just like, okay, I'm gonna go to a Marvel movie and whiz bang boom, I'm gonna get entertained. Yeah, they'll throw a message in there every now and then, but you know, and that's what the Watchmen movie was maybe more entertainment
than art.
But if you look at the graphic novel and the show,
it is certainly.
and this show as a season, like
oh my goodness. Stop.
I don't want. I really don't want any more. It's
Right.
like I kind of want to just keep it.
That's the art side.
Yeah, the 9 episodes. But there's the geek side of me. It's like, oh, just keep enhancing the story. But there's so many issues that are tackled here that have sparked the dialogue. I mean, hence this podcast. I mean, we've had so many discussions about that.
We have an art major at this table.
Yeah, I'm an art major.
Yes.
I'm not an artist. I was an art administrator.
Right.
Very nice.
But you have an appreciation.
Yes.
I
For
do.
art. That being said, what is your take or your stance in terms of continue on running the risk of defiling the art? But HBO has a pretty good track record. They typically don't ruin it. You know, they kind of know when to stop.
Right.
You know, unless it's Game of Thrones. But or are you of the mind that as an artist, or not an artist, but as one who appreciates art, should stop?
I want it to go on.
That's the geek in you right there. Come on, keep going every Sunday.
Actually, it's both. It's the geek and the artist because the acting is superb.
Oh, it is.
The
It really
cinematography is beautiful.
Yes.
You know, so for that reason alone, I want to see more.
Right,
But
right.
and then the issues they bring up, they're mirroring what's happening today.
Right.
So I like
And
to
we
see.
haven't even tapped into the spiritual side of things in this
Right.
particular
Oh, my goodness.
episode.
Yes, my goodness.
There's a lot of themes.
Yes. So I guess that was a perfect segue into actually talking.
And I wasn't
About
trying to
the
rush
show.
it. Yeah, but
Because but again, this
Right.
this podcast, this unofficial, official, if you would, podcast for the Watchmen TV show is one that tries to go above and beyond a little bit. Easter eggs are nice, fight scenes are nice. Interestingly enough, there aren't a ton of fight scenes.
No.
Don't need to be.
no.
Don't need to be a whole lot because the show has a lot more to offer. This show in particular had a ton to offer. I am like Lisa. I was aware of the book, didn't read it, watched the movie in preparation for the show, and loved Dr. Manhattan almost immediately because I have this love for overpowered characters in geek culture. I like them all. Thor, the ones that are just ridiculously over strong. Superman, you know, Green Lanterns and Thors and Hulks and stuff like that. I like I don't lean towards the normal kind of dude. I like those.
Batman.
I like Batman, but he's not my favorite.
Right, I got
you
you.
know, I like them strong dudes.
Right.
And Dr. Manhattan
Supernatural
is, yeah,
kind of dudes,
yeah. Because I guess I have I tend to like what you really couldn't achieve realistically. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is what I turn to stuff like this for, right? It's science fiction. I can't,
Right.
if you work hard enough, you can be 10% of what Batman is. If you work real hard, you can get some money and learn multiple languages and learn how to fight real well and get your body in shape and, you put on a mask, get a dope car and run out and fight some crime. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be Superman ever. Like the closest you'll come is working at a newspaper, and you can't even do that because newspapers are a dead industry.
Right.
So you can't do that anymore. So
Now, see, I like Dr. Manhattan because of the acting.
yeah, okay. See, yours is a different. Yeah,
It's a different take. I mean, I love that he's a superhero, a god, but that actor made us feel what Dr. Manhattan feels every day. That he perceives things on such a different level than
Right.
we do, and I felt that while I was watching him. And
Even though it's inconceivable
Right.
and confusing,
Right.
you understood it and felt it.
right now, you can't think about it too long. In science fiction, you can't think about all these different universes going on
right.
at one time. But I could understand it the way the look on his face the way he was moving, you could see the wheels in his mind turning. It
Or
was just,
laughing at there was a scene where Ozymandias said, "You lack imagination," and he laughed because he chuckled because he's having the same conversation with
about
Angela,
who
Right.
says he has a ton of imagination
Right.
based on the story he's telling.
and you felt it.
and that's why he started to fall for her as well. That was the beauty of the writing and the way they structured the scenes to really. They showed the ultimate superpower without showing a lot of wave of hand.
Right.
Let me, I mean, they showed all of that too, but that was the core of the episode, showing that this guy, he's having these conversations thematically, but it's happening all at the same time for him.
Right.
Right.
And trying to get the audience to see from his point of view
Right.
it was a beautiful thing.
Right. It really was. And trying to imagine, this dude he's here and he's here. But he makes a point to always mention that I can't do anything about it. It's all laid out. There's no altering going on. There's not going to be any changing to prevent this, to prevent that. My omnipotence lies in my ability to see and perceive everything at the same time.
Right.
More of an omniscience more than omnipotence. Right. There's power there, but it's really more of this sensory thing, this all-seeing kind of thing that was fascinating because it wasn't even. I thought I understood what Dr. Manhattan's kind of power set was as far as that was concerned, but that episode just gave you a perfect, glimpse into exactly what it is. And to the point where he went back as a kid, and they answered the question of why all those people look the same.
Right.
Because we were confused about that. And they weren't even his parents. It was just someone who introduced, interestingly enough, the concept of creating life and making it beautiful, and gave him a Bible. And, to
reference Genesis.
Right. To someone who has eventually become perceived as a god, because he clearly said, my dad, thank you for this Bible, but my dad doesn't really believe in this. But I'll replicate it once I get an opportunity. but he didn't know that, until having, the powers granted to him. Now he understood. He's just looking at all that stuff. And it was just amazing, man. And like you said, you mentioned the cinematography. When he was creating the life, good Lord, that was the most awesome looking scene I believe I've ever witnessed. As far as, and we've seen a lot of stuff, right, from a science fiction perspective, but to actually watch the creation, and of course it wasn't the creation that Christians are familiar with, but if you're a Christian, this is what you kind of envision. This is what you think it looks like when everything is growing and the water's spreading out and he's walking out on it. And
Angela joked about it. She said, "Did it take you 7 days?"
Right, she joked.
And he's like, "No, actually 90 seconds."
It don't take that long to create a world and then zap a manor right there in the middle of it. And so we got that explained to us. And then we got the babies out of the water because apparently you can still pull them out of there. Out of the amniotic,
right?
Just pulling them out because we were confused.
Yes,
when my man was pulling babies out the water, we just was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, that had to be explained before the season's over.
Thank you, Damon, for explaining that because we were confused.
Yeah, we need to know who. Sorry, Lube Man is.
Lube Man.
We need to know
who Lube Man is, and where is the Clark's baby?
Okay, that's a new one.
I want to know that one. Right. A lot of people aren't really interested in that, but I kind of feel like they're going to go back to that Clark baby.
What do you think it is?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Because Lady True does weird stuff, and she's using babies as currency. I just, I don't know.
Right, something. Yeah, when somebody hands you a baby, yeah.
It's just something's weird about that. Lisa, you brought up a good point in the car about when I asked you about... just your perspective on the show and what do you think about it. And you said something that men didn't really think about. At least Ryan and I didn't think about when we were discussing what we liked about the show.
Because we're men.
We're men, and all we want to see is a fight. But it was an interesting angle, and when she said, "Well, I'll let you share."
Well, if we're talking about the same thing, I said I love this episode. It was a love story.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up on that.
Come
on, man.
I mean, I did, but I was just like, when we gonna find out what's gonna happen? I just was like, I just did not.
Well, that's what I found intriguing was the way Dr. Manhattan talked to her, because it's like, and also see the dynamic that, okay, how can a God that can see everything, and she showed some of that in their relationship, where it's like, shut up, like don't tell me certain things,
I don't
like keep your mouth closed.
This is not gonna work,
right? And he's like, okay, like he's,
I told you, this is what you're gonna get,
right?
But this God-like being was so vulnerable,
correct,
through that whole love story,
right,
and was willing to give it all up to have the woman he loved,
right.
So that's what I liked about the episode.
The line that got me was, he laid out, like, we're going to be together for 10 years and something tragic is going to happen. And she's like, I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but she's like, well, what's the point? If we know it's going to end in tragedy, why are we going to do it? And he says, don't all relationships end in tragedy? And I was like, whew.
Yeah, unless they just amicably break up.
Think about that.
Yeah.
No, think about that.
That struck me too.
You meet your spouse, right? Mm-hmm. Eventually, we all know what the outcome is going to be. So that's what he was. That's what he was talking about. Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
There's many different types of ending.
Well, there's
relationships.
There's divorce.
But I know what you're saying.
But like in terms of like death, life and death,
right?
Yeah.
Like, and he was sharing it in a way that it was a natural course of things.
Right.
Like,
so
okay,
you shouldn't be afraid of that.
I would love this relationship to last forever, but nothing is going to last forever. Nothing.
Coming from the guy that says nothing ever ends. That's interesting.
Exactly.
That's heavy.
Exactly. But
that's heavy.
But yeah, that line struck me hard. Like I was like, wow, he's really telling the truth.
Right.
I never thought of it, but it made me think.
Right.
And that is what he meant.
Dr. Manhattan. He's a pimp.
Right. Didn't matter how much time. It didn't matter how much time they spent. He just said, like, don't worry about the tragedy. It's going to happen regardless if you die of old age. See, the problem is he's not going to age. She's going to age.
Right. I'm going to be around here.
Right. So he has this kind of sense of like, and that's what happened in the graphic novel was his relationship with Lori. Like you saw the deconstruction of that because he didn't care. At the time, he didn't care.
Right, because he felt like humans were just
right, and also Lori has a part to play in this too because in the book, the thing that convinced him to go back to help, and I'm hoping I get this right. I need to really do a refresher on the book, but he was on Mars and he was going to exile himself, and he ends up transporting her to Mars,
that conversation.
And she has a conversation with him, and when he reveals who her father is, the comedian, he was like, you still, I guess, witnessing that something beautiful came out of a violent act was something that jarred him. There must be something beautiful about life.
Right.
And he decided to go back and try to help.
Right.
So I saw those parallels too with Angela. Like he talks when they show Angela sitting at the bar and he said, this person right here has dealt with so much tragedy in her life and I forgot the line. I need to watch the show again. But he to have that observation of her before he even talked to her was amazing.
Because he already knew. I mean, he had already seen everything. Like nothing's really a mystery to that dude, right? Like so he can
right.
You know what I'm saying? But
the point I'm trying to make is for somebody that can see the whole tapestry of time, it seems to him that Angela stuck out to him like a excuse me, like a light, and he was drawn to it, and that was even more that added to the romance too. It was like why Angela, and he's focused on her because of how number one, it's a mind twister because he's focused on her because how all of this is going to play out this season.
Right.
But not only that, he was a catalyst for it, which is
right.
It's like
I told you can't think about it too much.
right.
nothing ever ends.
Right.
Nothing ever ends.
Right. It's like he knows. I mean, and like you said, man, the way it was written is like what are they doing in that writer's room? Like people everywhere, writers everywhere, are crumbling up their work and throwing it in the trash and retiring, or they are like really working hard and out of inspiration.
And you're speaking about writers on other shows.
Yes. Other showrunners must be miserable because this. Okay, and we haven't even talked about a scene, right? Like I guess we'll just hit on the ones that resonated the most, right? You said Angela essentially sets it in motion. He and Angela kind of set it in motion, but it was the scene.
Even that was crazy.
Standing on the pool, and he's talking to Will Reeves in New York.
Yes,
and she knows that he's talking to Will Reeves in another time, in 2009 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to know, ask the dude why he killed Judd. Of course, this hasn't happened. And so he asks, and Will Reeves is like, man, I don't know who that is.
Well, that wasn't a question. She said,
"Who? Why did you?
How did you know?
Why did you know he had a thing? And
had a robe in the
closet.
closet.
Yeah, robe in the closet. How did you know he had a clan?
How did you know he was a member of
the Cyclops?
Yes.
And then that's when Will Reeves snaps. Like, I don't know this dude, but Cyclops means I need to get on the first thing smoking to Tulsa,
right?
Because we can't have that coming back, And took his little mind control thing with him when he went, because he kept the stuff. And so Angela's character is like, oh no, so I did this.
I did it.
Beautiful,
crazy.
No. Take a second to really understand the level of writing behind that.
That's what
every
I'm
time
saying.
we talk about, every time time travel is talked about, it's like you never interfere, or if you interfere, it's going to affect the outcome.
Right.
So the fact that
butterfly effect stuff.
But the crazy part was it was destined to happen. It was almost like Dr. Manhattan is setting it up where it's like, okay, there's a string of events that are going to happen. I'm not going to tell you how it's going to happen
because if I do, then it's not natural. It's like, because he always says, if I told you that, it wouldn't be your idea, or if, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as
So when she asked the question, it's out of natural.
Right.
It wasn't like she was trying to, I'm going to twist my
Right.
She was like, crap, I
did that.
Yeah.
But he's like, what? It's kind of how it's supposed to happen. Like, in his mind, he's just like, this is how it works.
Right.
That's the beauty of science fiction.
Yes, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But to a degree. Because we will poke some holes in it if we don't like it.
Right.
And time travel is something that has been very poorly handled.
Yes.
In a number of different shows and movies. And this, there's not necessarily travel more so than it is a person's perception of time and how he.
Time travel is a wrong word.
It's not traveling, but it is kind of right. There's
a rule.
He's
a
going.
rule.
He's not moving through time. He just exists.
Right.
At all points.
Times.
Yeah, I forgot the theory. What it's like if you threw a rock, if time is a river, a stream, and you throw a rock in it, it's going to shift.
Yeah, like the butterfly effect or something like that.
Or I mean, if you watch Endgame or something like that.
Yeah. See,
I'm sorry. All right, sorry.
Terrible taste in my mouth.
Right, sorry. I didn't mean that.
I wasn't poorly handled.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah. But I just, like you said, the way they've structured Watchmen on this season it's with each character getting an episode, and they're not doing like, well, here's Sister Knight fighting the 7th Cavalry again, and then maybe a little thing happens this episode, and then we cut, and then we go to another episode. Like, this is really like, there's an intricate web. Like, let's look at the whole season globally. Mm-hmm. What are we trying to do here? Mm-hmm. How do we honor the graphic novel? Mm-hmm. That's already a challenge in itself.
Right.
Oh, and then how do we interject race relations during the Trump era?
Right.
What?
Check, and check. And we don't even have to fight. Ever. Hardly.
Can you imagine like hiring writers and say, we're going to do this, and you look at the list and you just go,
I don't know.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I know, but then in your mind you're like, unless you're confident, right? Like,
right.
You really like, because me personally, I would probably be afraid, but like you said, I would be ready.
It'll be the challenge,
right? Because I'd want to be a part of this if it works.
Yes,
but you don't want to be a part of it if it flops.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? It's like one of them things: a high risk, high reward.
Right.
But
every single episode, and it's directed by a different person.
Most
written by a different person.
Bruh, even the best shows got that one episode.
Right.
That'd be boo boo, and you just be like, I could have done without that one. Not yet.
Right.
And we
hasn't
have
happened.
One more to go. Not yet.
Mm-hmm. I read this article where, and I posted it on the Facebook group, it was basically saying Watchmen is a masterpiece and it's too much to bear. Because it's so good. It's that good.
Right. And Lisa, that's why you wanted to keep on going.
That's true.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Is it better than Star Trek?
No.
Let's just see if I can trip up.
No.
Right.
I tried, y'all. I tried. Man,
Q is like
omnipotent.
he's like Dr. Manhattan.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never understood his power set either. He just felt like he could just do whatever he wanted.
He did, and he could.
Right.
Yeah.
But not with good intentions.
Never. Right. Yeah, Dr. Manhattan is not like, he's a neutral kind of guy.
He is.
Because he's standing in there and he's explaining everything, and he's getting stuff explained to him after having been awakened by Angela. And the dude goes in, first he zaps her kids away. Bye, they gone. She's like, oh no. Then she turned into mother. Then she snapped. Like, I don't care who you are. Where my kids at? She got instantly angry. And then now he's chilling,
He sent him to Will Reeves, and she's like, what?
What are you doing? This crazy dude who drinks piping hot coffee. You know what I'm
pulling boiling eggs out with his hand. They still got to explain that.
Man.
Unless he's just that angry where it's like, I can drink this without flinching.
We still don't know. Yeah. And so this crazy stuff is happening. She is aware that the 7th Cavalry is coming. This dude is making breakfast. He's making breakfast. He's levitating milk and stuff. And not even, he's just chilling.
Making
like,
waffles.
I didn't even think he needed to eat. Does he need sustenance? Why was he making eggs?
That's true.
Well, he's trying to make eggs, but she slammed him just down. Like, wait a minute, we need to talk. Right. It's not the time for brunch.
Right.
It's not the time.
Right.
And
why was he doing that?
Man, dude was making breakfast. I'm still trying to figure out the significance of that, because this show
there's
is
some significance that he sent the kids to Will Reeves.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I think something was maybe set in, like, okay, if things go down.
Well, remember, he
I thought he was just trying to
him.
protect children. I don't know.
But why Will Reeves?
We don't even know where that dude is. That's what's so crazy about it.
That would be crazy, just to see the kids appear to Will Reeves.
Yeah, I want to see that.
And the crazy part, he's been hanging with Lady True. So it's like,
he's chilling in the tower right before the clock goes off.
Is
the clock? I don't know, man.
Right.
He's making breakfast, and this show makes you look at everything all with a microscope and everything. That probably didn't even mean anything. But to me, I just felt like it means something. Why is he making breakfast right now, bro? It's like, I don't know if you're trying to say that this dude, he just really doesn't. It's not. He doesn't operate on our level. He's like the ultimate eccentric. This dude's like, yeah, they're outside. like right now. And she's like, bruh, you're not gonna say nothing about this? Like, dude, I just told you they coming to kill. Yeah, they've been out there for a minute. Like, they've been out there.
Right.
But he said there were more important things to discuss. I'm like what? What? You making breakfast.
Right.
Like, what are you discussing? So now she's, got the gun out. I'm going to take care of this business. And he reminded him of the thing that he told her before. Mm-hmm. You're going to try to save me, but you can't, because I kind of see what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. But apparently that was the moment he revealed it. That was the moment he actually like fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm. I just thought,
but he told her back then,
right.
I because I exist in all time. I can just safely say I love you. It just hadn't happened yet, but just know that I do. That was he's a player.
Well,
that's a line right there.
The other thing too is it makes me want to watch. It makes me want to watch the show again because
I watched it.
Like you said, you watched episode
Right
1 and 2.
away, yeah.
But think about it. It also puts into context why Angela was so guarded. Down to the point of
yes.
I have shotguns in the headboard, and when she had a
locker and the
stuff, fingerprint
stuff,
and she had an armory of stuff. She was ready for war. It was almost as if I'm gonna have this house set up in a way that if they come if it goes down and they come after him, I'm ready. And she was to a degree.
Right. And because we talked about the whole dynamic of the role reversal, right? The gender role reversal.
And that's the answer.
And that
she was protecting him.
Right. I thought it was particularly dope.
Did she say he zapped the guy away?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Okay.
I was just getting ready to say.
Right.
The dude came out, and he's like now trying to do detective work, and he's looking around, and he's coming out of it, and he sees the clock. He's like, okay, they came in. It was Christmas. They came in. Like, he's putting this thing all together because he's been in this tunnel that they've been referencing.
But he came out because of the defense mechanism that Ozymandias set in place.
Right, and he said he was just, and he's like, yes, under extreme duress or life-threatening situations, you'll start remembering, brilliant. They wrote that. See, that's what I like. Give me a rule set. I don't want just powers just becoming.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But I will say with that, it does make me worry a little bit. And what I mean by that is his whole, the whole mechanism on how he forgets, though it might seem like a gift to him. And I thought that was a romantic gesture that I'm so in love with Angela that I'm willing to forget.
I'm Dr.
I want to live on Earth. I want to live on Earth as a human. Hey, and there's some spiritual...
Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely
I'm gonna my earthly walk among the people, to show them, yes, absolutely.
So there's that, but the fact that mechanism came from Ozymandias makes me feel uneasy.
Well, see, I told you my theory on this. Of course, I got all kind of theories. They don't be right all the time. Although I did kind of jokingly say that
Cal was Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. So but. I had hit you with this. I was like, man, what is this? This whole thing was orchestrated by Ozymandias. The whole thing. Because, and I'm jumping ahead, he was so excited to get that horseshoe at the end, as if to say, yes, now everything is in order. Dr. Manhattan has done everything I needed for him to do. Because Dr. Manhattan came to him for the favor. And he just so happened to have the device that he needed to do his bidding, which he called Plan A. Right. But what? I mean, he's the smartest man ever.
Right.
So of course he would have built it. Like, this dude's playing chess, years of moves ahead of everybody else. Like, he's gonna come out where the dude was like, yeah, this is what I expected. I just had to endure all this other stuff, and that would be that just blow my mind that he did it again to orchestrate another utopia by doing something to get rid of the cavalry. I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah. Can I ask this question? I mean, aside from I know all the ladies were going nuts at a certain point. The question
My favorite scene.
Your favorite scene.
Tell me in the comments. What'd you say? What'd you say? You was old but not dead. What'd you say?
I said I'm mature, but I'm not dead, and I love that scene.
Hey,
Keeping it real.
keeping it real.
We keep it 100%.
Right.
But it's still a family show. But we keep it 100%.
Funny. Anyway, but what I was going to say was I thought I want to bounce this question off of you guys. Like, so in the graphic novel, Dr. Manhattan always looks a certain way. In the movie, he looked a certain way. I mean, there was a scene where they showed, in the movie where he can change. Well, I think in the graphic novel too, he can change. He can change the shade or not make it so bright. Or
Right.
And he was even joking with Angela about
I could
that.
glow if you
She's
would
like,
like.
well,
That would
But-
cause too much attention.
I wanted to ask you, do you feel like it was intentional from the writers to have Dr. Manhattan just take, he's like, okay, I'm Cal now. I'm Dr. Manhattan, but I'm still going to keep the likeness of Cal.
Yeah, it was because she made a point to say it. She's like, oh my God, your face is still the same.
You still have his face.
Yep.
But he made a choice to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe because he forgot, he's just going to just, because from
Oh,
what
you're trying to say what was the catalyst for it? Like,
Right.
Was it conscious or did it just happen as a result of
Well,
it?
he's taking the form of a
taking-
black man, pretty
Right.
much. He
But
did,
yeah.
but then even after she knocked him over the head and destroyed that vessel,
Right.
he still is
Yeah,
keeping that.
he's still Cal.
Right. And I'm sure there's people that are watching going, like, but
Absolutely.
but
Especially after your favorite scene.
right.
Don't hate.
Right.
Angry.
Yeah. But I mean, Dr. Manhattan's always been an exhibitionist.
Yeah,
so,
you don't care.
Yeah, he's a nudist. And,
Right,
yeah,
that's what he is.
But
What you gonna do?
Right. But the fact that he's taking the like it's almost as if he's adopting the likeness of Cal. I felt like that was an intentional choice. Like, no,
Yeah.
he doesn't need to look like
Just
like the
random
Dr.
mannequin
Right.
kind of dude.
Right.
Just any man. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You need to look like Cal.
And that's a risky. I actually think I don't want to say it's risky, but I feel like they made an effort to go, no, he needs to take on the appearance of Cal now.
Yeah.
I guess maybe for
I
the
thought it
emotional
worked.
connection
Yeah, I thought it
between him and Angela, but I think it's even more than that. Like, and again, I'm going in that space where I'm overthinking things, but
Right. You have to for HBO.
but I
too,
feel
so.
like there is like a conscious effort to make a point about that. So,
Lisa, I have a question.
hence
for
my question. Like, do you think
you.
do you think it was intentional?
I think it was.
Right.
To your point, Lisa, I think it was because it was a love story, and by keeping with that connection, she'll always see that in him. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know what is your take on this?
She fell in love with him when he took the form. She was like, I don't like these guys here.
But see, here's the
but
thing.
that was even dope the way they
see,
wrote that.
I know, but she acted like she knew that guy that was in that. Is it just me?
No, she
No, I
didn't.
don't think she did.
She didn't.
Okay, then why did
She just said, I prefer.
Oh, she didn't want to. Okay, she
Right.
didn't want to sound.
Because the other guys were like, John,
Yeah.
I think her apprehension was, I don't want
I don't want
Dr.
to look like
Manhattan to
look-
think that I don't want him,
Right.
but I really want this guy over
Right.
here,
She made a point of going,
about this?
I've looked at all the bodies. This one.
and I'll take him.
Yeah.
But
why was she so apprehensive? It would seem like she
It's
would've been like,
embarrassing.
Let me go right to this box.
Right.
So
Well,
you're saying-
she wasn't like. It
Because
wasn't
she
like.
knew that dude was in that box,
I know.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, she knew it.
Right?
She
She
knew
opened
it.
up all the other boxes. Most black women
more
be like,
effective.
let
she
me go
wanted
right
to
to
give
this.
him a chance
Right.
to say, well, I like this one.
Okay,
Right.
I got you.
But you know,
And then when he
girls
did-
are always
because
going to
as
get
he
what
did
they
it,
want.
she was like, "Oh, this is what I like right here."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love
She
that
put a
piece of
hand on
acting.
her face, like, "Yeah, this is what I'm talking about."
Right.
She was happy with it.
Well, we always get what we want.
Really, that is correct.
The closet, like, I don't know why I'm stuck on that.
Oh, when they were doing
Whenever
the
they would get
closet,
together,
yeah,
they would always it would be in the closet. Maybe it was just a random thing.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I don't know. I always thought they just trying not for the kids to hear. I don't know. I didn't overthink that one. You might be right. There might be some significance to that, but I don't know if they'll ever address that. That was very strange.
It was just like, why the clock? I mean, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Do what you do, you know. But I felt like there was something. Either it was an inside joke, kind of like the elephant in the room joke on the last episode.
In the closet, it's like you know he got something to hide. They hiding.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm bringing it up because it's like, was that a
symbolism? Symbolism.
Was that a Easter egg clue? Like, haha, we got you. Yeah. We showing you what the deal is. Right. We giving you the answer right now. Right. But we ain't gonna tell you.
Right. Trolling you.
You know,
subtly.
Right.
But why didn't he blow the head off the last man?
Because he, like you said, he can see everything. He was supposed to, right? Like he told her it would end. Well, however, she said we win.
But it seems like he had the opportunity.
He did, to do that, but remember, he only does what is supposed to. He's a puppet that sees the strings. Mm-hmm. He doesn't manipulate. He just. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like that too. I was like, "Oh yeah," and then he was just like, "Well, let me get in position for the rest of the story to play out according to what I've already seen."
Was it Looking Glass?
Listen. I
because that was the anomaly.
That's what I'm telling you, man. Because I was like, that dude is still in the wind, and we haven't seen him yet. He got the Klan mask on somewhere. He's running around,
and
with
maybe he's like, well, let me carry this through to see it all the way through. I have to prove that this was real.
Right.
He's that.
Right. He's undercover in the cavalry. You please better believe.
Again, that's a theory of mine.
No, I believed it as soon as they took my man Manhattan away. I was like, that's that's my man Looking Glass back there.
That actually shot the weapon.
Or he's somewhere. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I know he's somewhere.
Yeah.
But
I kind of felt like he was the one behind there, but they never really showed anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All you saw was the thing come on.
Right. But I don't think he's doing it for evil purposes. No, I think he's just like, okay, I got to see this all the way through.
Right. Because he's still confused. No, because he's skeptical, still holding on to some of his old phobias and stuff, and he just seems to want more answers.
Right.
Because we haven't seen him in a minute since he sold up those the 5 dudes.
Right. Is Petey still waiting on, like, Lori, like, these bodies are decomposing. When you going to give me the...
Petey. Oh, man, I don't know what he's doing. And we didn't even see, Agent Blake at all. So she's still down there in that basement getting ready to watch the transformation of white man to blue, I guess, is what they expect to see happen.
But that episode... Not last week's episode, but the one before, she's down in that basement. And when that senator said to her that the scales had tipped and it's hard being a white man in America, that's happening today. That's the root of a lot of the issues that we see going on today.
And the shootings and, you know, like there was this narrative that, that narrative's still real. I don't want to make it sound like there isn't the threat of foreign terrorism, but most of the terrorist acts this year, look back.
Past couple of years, man.
Yeah, past couple of years. Look at
it's not been Al Qaeda or ISIS or none of these folks.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that.
Right.
But I got a jolt when he said that.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it's what's happening today.
Right.
Like you say, Rose, they writing all this stuff in.
Right.
We'll give you your geek stuff, but here, go ahead and have a little of this medicine.
Yeah, and that's what's hard to see.
Yeah, nobody like that medicine. The medicine never tastes good.
But let's talk about that, right? So, like, okay, that's describing the issue, the disease, right? You know? And it's like, why are people not willing to talk about it, even if they know that, like, that's a symptom of the disease. You know, it's like that. I think that's where we can't get past it because nobody wants to talk.
Yeah.
And go like, this is what ails us as a country, and all of us have a part to play in that. It's not just the white man. It's like
No.
Yeah. No. Now there's some definite things that have happened to us as a people but we all have a part to play in it and try to repair this disease, you know, or try to cure it.
We do.
You know? And like you said, like going back to your story, it's like, you know, this hatred is so systemic where it's, I mean, you're bringing your kids
you're bringing in training them.
Right. That's just
and some of that is not, I don't even think everybody realizes that's what they're doing.
correct.
No, they don't.
Right.
Especially when you start that early. You're just
It's your
doing,
normal.
You're doing what people that you perceive as authority figures, because that's what we're taught. We're taught to obey authority.
Right.
And those you perceive to be in authoritative positions are those you're supposed to obey. And as children, that's when it begins, right?
Right.
And if your family tells you, if your mom and your dad or whoever's the adult tells you something, you're supposed to do it. If you don't, there are consequences, right? So, unfortunately, it is the elders that are at fault, and it's their responsibility. But if they're in this bubble, whether it be willful ignorance or otherwise, they're going to pass down whatever that is. And there are some that firmly believe, because of a myopic view, that things are supposed to be a certain way, because they may have come up, and their parents and their grandparents may have believed that they're supposed to be a certain manner of doing things or living a certain way. So you mentioned disease and symptoms. A lot of people, they can't even really discern the difference between the two. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
some people don't even think they're sick.
And to take it a step further, like you're saying, the postcards, it's like, okay, we do this podcast, right? And we talk about pop culture, and sometimes we come across these stereotypical things, even in our pop culture, that just gets snuck under the radar.
It's subliminal.
You know, like, like, this might be a bad example, but like every time I hear Jar Jar Binks, talk, I'm like, it just doesn't vibe with me. Like, it makes me angry, but people think it's cute.
No, who
and it's like,
thought that was cute?
Right, but see,
That sucks.
but the thing is, they're not they think it's innocent, and it's like, well, it's, it's playful and innocent, but it's like, for me, it's like it's like grading, a chalkboard,
because it's bad in the first place, and then when you look at it closer, it's even worse. Like, it's terrible, even if it's not like offensive to anyone in particular, but it's because it's just bad.
But it points
but but because of that extra, it's worse,
right?
To where it had to be addressed, and they never brought that dude or any of his race back,
right?
Subsequently.
Well, to me, it's just like the Civil War. People honor the Confederate flag, and I also come from a history background. I worked at the Tennessee State Museum for years. So, and that kind of thing has its place. Its place is in the museum.
Correct.
It's part of our history. And
waving on government lawns and it's there out the front doors.
that may not be the place.
But it's not the place.
But what I think a lot of people won't admit to themselves, yes, your ancestors fought in the Civil War. Yes, they fought for the South. But what they were fighting for is wrong. And that's what they can't admit.
Right.
It was wrong.
Right.
It was wrong to enslave people.
Well, I think that's what's the frustrating part is everything gets celebrated except for the cause, the root of it. Like, oh, well, no, it's not racist, but they were fighting to keep slavery going. What are we doing?
But they won't admit that.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what it's the omission of history. It's like facts, facts and history are important.
Yes.
Science is important to prove certain things, and when that gets thrown out the door, it's like, it's almost like, interesting enough, we're living in this era where that is becoming norm. It's the norm, and it's like it, and that's where it's almost like it's intentional. Like, we need to, like, what's this about facts? Because the thing is, if you really, like you said, if you if you really paint that picture about the Confederacy and ask, and it's okay for people to feel hurt and feel like, well, I have pride in the flag or whatever.
Yes.
But if the fact is a fact, you know.
We have politicians today
Right.
who will be on television and they will say one thing and they will tell you tomorrow they didn't say it.
Correct.
On camera.
Right.
Right. We got records.
And it's on video.
We got
Yes.
records. We got records.
Yes.
Right.
So, I don't know.
And that's what, and that's the interesting part about like our world and technology. We have the ability now, like we didn't see, our culture would hear about things and go, wow, did that happen? You know, and we believe it. But then when you see the video and it's proven that it happens and then nothing is done about it, that's where the anger comes in.
Yes.
Like, you know, Rodney King was the first, like, I know when I was growing up, that was the first taste of like, wait a
Hardcore
minute now,
evidence.
wait a minute. You know, like this is off. Like, you know, I would hear about things, but like that was the first, like I guess speaking from my generation, where I was like, okay,
This is crazy.
this is crazy. And then now we've seen a string where it's like over and over again, we keep seeing this documented evidence, and it's not submitted as evidence when people go to trial. You know?
See, and you mentioned that, man. That's what's scary about the whole disregard
For
of
facts.
because that's what everything's based on, man. Like the legal system, you can't imagine, man. Imagine having the responsibility as a prosecutor for establishing the burden of proof in a world where facts don't matter anymore. Why bother? Because it's already hard enough for a prosecutor, because all there has to be is a shred of doubt, just enough to sway one juror. And we're living in a time where, man, tons are easily swayed now.
Right.
Like, who is worthy?
By social media.
Who is worthy of sitting in a jury? Right, like you gotta. That's scary, right?
Right.
Like
The other side of that to me, Will, is the facts do matter if you're a person that's different from another person.
that is correct.
Correct.
Facts are conveniently facts. Only they're just facts when it's convenient.
Right.
Right.
But like you said, we all do have a part to play.
Right.
Because I had trouble with my grandson with his hairstyle. Well, it was his hair. But I came up in a generation
Correct.
where you had to conform.
Right.
And you had to look a certain way
Right.
to succeed or fit in.
You're absolutely right. My dad, like I'm wearing a beard. It was like, you know, you need to shave.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So I've had to check myself.
Right. I mean, he
why?
loosened up on that, you know, later in life. But like, you know, when I was in college, like, yeah, you need to shave, or you know, you need to keep this. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
what am I trying to prove to anybody? Right now?
He wanted you to succeed.
He wanted me to get in there, you know,
Yes.
and it's like you have to look a certain way, and that's just like when you really sit back and think about it, it's sickening.
I know.
It's sickening.
But that's what we came up in.
But the thing is, we, to a degree, not as egregious as it, with hair, we still kind of groom our children to say, this is how you need to look.
True.
You know what I mean? Like I like my daughter, I say, okay, I see her and I know how I want her to behave. I know how I want her to look when going on an interview or anywhere else where someone is to.
She already interviewed?
Well,
I'm joking.
I wish she would get on that payroll and somebody put some money on somebody. Right. But when she, I'm just envisioning when she gets older, they're going to be. I mean, there are always going to be parameters, right? They just change with the times. Like right now, I'm not going to tell Landon to cut his beard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, but there will be some things I will tell him that he needs to do, because whatever the parameters are for quote unquote success is.
Unfortunately, we have to prepare our kids for the world that they're going to step in.
Right.
We'll be doing them a disservice.
And for your dad, he thought that wearing a beard was not that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so we have to kind of, but when you get to the point where it's just like, don't mess with them black folks. You know what I'm saying? When you're teaching that crazy stuff,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So there's that line, like what's acceptable to indoctrinate
Right.
and what's not. You know what I mean? And that is the line that's blurred for those, as we said earlier, and like even on the show, the 7th Cavalry, they live in this bubble where they think the white man is a victim of reverse racism and injustice. That's what they believe, and that's what they see, and that's what they're going to teach, and they're going to bring others in to further proselytize that doctrine and to move their agenda forward. And it is happening today. And I mean, and they show you in a show that is happening, but
also, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. I was going to say, and reinforcing. I hate this term. I hate the term of black on black crime.
Lord, yes.
And that
Yes,
when
yes,
they were
yes.
showing in the movie theater the black people attacking black
Yes,
people,
right.
they were reinforcing
Yes.
that idea,
Right.
that only black people commit crimes against black people.
right,
Right.
And I hate it. It's
Yes.
not true. And I hear people say it all the time. Black people.
Yeah, they don't say white on white crime.
I know.
Right.
It's just be crime.
It's crime. It's crime.
Or it, even like certain communities, like crime is not reported in that community,
Yeah.
but that's where the crime is happening.
And they're
So-
shocked.
Right.
Well, we go all day on
Right.
these newly
Yeah.
gentrified areas right across the street from the projects, but you think it's safe because there's a street dividing you
Right.
and your cafe on the other side, and you think you should be able to walk your dog, not realizing.
But that's
You know
what
what I'm
makes
saying?
it complex,
It's
because it's
crazy.
more of a it's then it becomes a class issue. It's like,
But it's always
You
it's always been a class
correct,
issue.
correct.
They've blurred that line to make you think it's black and white in order to maintain the blind spot there.
Right.
They need those that have power, need for those that don't to think that it ain't about class. It ain't about socioeconomic. It is about black and white. And that's what they need. They need
Right.
that to the point where, you know, because they can keep that line, that line of demarcation. And as long as you have a group of people that think that they are better than another group simply because of how they look, then you won, right? Like you can be poor and white and still be better than the black millionaire. And they've taught that. But if class is the thing that they can't see, if they saw that, they would know, like, this dude don't care about me. He doesn't care about me
Right.
because I'm poor.
exactly.
But they flipped it
Yes.
and they've blurred the line.
Right. I'm gonna float this out here.
This is a Watchmen podcast.
You're right.
I promise.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna float this out here. So Cyclops. What I find interesting about that, the iconography of the eye. I also find it interesting that that's on Ozymandias's.
And it always has been.
It
right?
always
It's
been on
there.
his. Yeah. Yeah.
I sure hope that, but and see, and that's,
And we got the answer to the squid. Like he was
Yeah,
raining
he
the
was
squid out
raining-
during
he-
the portal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this going, and I'll be with you in a moment." When I
Right.
finish raining these cephalopods down. Crazy.
I just feel like he's
It's
just
yeah. It's that's an interesting theory, or an observation, not necessarily a theory, but an observation. But he was always one that, even though he had despicable means of achieving the goal itself was always a noble one. And it's hard for me to believe that another such scheme would incorporate the victory of the 7th Cavalry. But maybe that's what he feels is necessary in order to establish
But look at his demeanor.
a utopia.
Look at his demeanor. Like when he's looking at all of his screens, he's like, I do all of this and they're still making warheads.
Right, they're still
and he's
making
still
bombs. That's
pissed
what I'm
about it.
saying.
He's
He
still like,
thinks he thinks it's a failure still.
right. So he's
This is and that was part of my theory, right? That's why I felt like, okay, he's looking at this. This has failed. Let me set something else in motion now.
right.
That's why I feel like
But the fact that he knows that Dr. Manhattan was going to visit him like, okay, you're here, and then he
Right,
pulls
that's
this.
what I'm saying. He's like he kind of almost.
I gotta watch that
expected-
episode again because it's almost. It feels like he was expecting him to
That's
come.
what I'm. That's what I'm saying.
Who's more powerful here? Like
That's
Dr.
what-
Manhattan.
He's the smart, but dude, he was smart enough to get that dude to exile himself to Mars. The dude, he's the smartest man in the world. That's why I'm putting nothing past him. I would not be shocked that at the end of the show he's standing there, winning again in whatever utopia he is created through some cataclysmic means. And I'm just telling you, man. And like you might be right. That just like death of 3 million folks and
the tape.
That's not good.
The tape with Looking Glass. It's like.
Yes, I'm saying. Like, he does horrible things to achieve what he feels is utopia. Maybe a victory for Keen and the rest of those racists is what he feels needs to happen. Now, I don't know how that works. That would have to, I don't know how that works. But killing 3 million people is pretty twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just going to wipe them out and, so I don't know. I feel like he's behind it. I feel like he's behind it. I feel like he.
And then there's a disdain too, because the way he talks about Crookshanks and Phillips, he's like, you're not my master. I forgot what the line was, but he was basically saying, "You're not my master.
No.
I would have. What did he say?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because remember, they were there. Remember, he was put there to be worshipped, right? Like the guy, Dr. Manhattan told him, he's like, "Man, I got a utopia. I set up here. I can send you there if you want." I left because, I just can't deal. You know what I mean? Like, it was just too much. But since you kind of like that stuff, they're just waiting for somebody to worship. And would you like that, sir? And he's like, man, dude was crying. He was so excited to go. I would love that.
But it became a hell because
yes, it did.
It wasn't the utopia that he set up.
That's
so
what I'm
he's
saying.
always been envious of.
I'm saying, man, Dr.
He's
Manhattan,
gonna be
my man Ozymandias about to
Ozymandias
do
is
something.
Senator King.
I'm telling you, he about to do something.
He's gonna get Dr. Manhattan's powers.
Who knows?
Senator King's gonna change into Ozymandias. Like,
got it. Ugh.
It can end then.
Right.
Right. Yeah, let it in.
Let it in.
You don't want that.
And I don't want that.
You like your current Dr. Manhattan.
Right. Oh, Calvin.
Oh, Calvin. Man. Yeah. Was that you that told me the joke that Regina King ended up with Calvin again after all these years?
That was Quinn, I believe.
That's right. That was
it was a Quinn or it was Quinn. Yeah.
One, I knew somebody had said that. I thought it was a pretty funny joke. Yeah.
Right.
Man,
But it's wonderful. Black people have black superheroes.
Yes.
And
the first one was a black dude with a noose around his neck and
Yes.
killing Klan members.
How did you feel about that episode? Like, because to me that was the landmark episode ever.
Yeah.
Like in geek culture for me.
Yes.
As
The
African American.
Flash, the
Hooded Justice.
nostalgia,
Right.
on black and white.
It was. I love that episode, and I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know the story.
I didn't either.
But I guess nobody knew that part of
Right.
the story. But it made perfect sense
Right.
that a black man would be Hooded Justice and that his costume or his uniform would be what it is. And the reason why he
Couldn't get justice anywhere.
is searching for justice
Right.
is for the reasons, that he was, the way he was treated.
That speaks volumes.
We are all Hooded Justice.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I thought before Hooded Justice, I thought the most riveting imagery of a black superhero was Luke Cage on Netflix, because the bulletproof black man. Who don't want to be that?
Right.
Right. But
No, it's changed.
It has changed. It is Hooded Justice because we all feel it. We all feel like in order for us to get justice, we got to cover our face and then do it ourselves.
Change our appearance.
Yeah, and change our appearance and just to be not even just to be accepted. We have to blend in. We got to hide. We got to put on masks. We put on masks every day. I say all the time. We in a workplace.
Even the heroes we
sometimes-
worship, it's like
Yeah.
it's like you watch these, say, Marvel movies or whatever, and it's like all of us are Captain America, and it's like
Maybe not.
Are we? Like you as a geek, you're kind of like, oh yeah, we're all Captain America.
Yeah.
We all can be superheroes, and then it's like, I don't know.
You can't put a mask on. Nobody will believe it.
Yep.
Because that's what they say. His wife told him. June said, it's like, this is the only way you're going to get justice, bro. Put this mask on, paint your little eyes white so can't nobody, tell. Then that's the only way you're going to get it.
But also, you're angry, so you don't need to do this.
Right.
It's just, it's maddening because it's like, well, you want me to do this, but then
and then to think that you've made it. You're this superhero, and people appreciate you, and the other superheroes want you to be a part of them.
Right. Until it's not advantageous for them to just like, you're going to have to deal with black injustice on your own.
You're still not good
black
enough.
unrest. We can't do it.
You started it. You're the man, but you're not good enough.
No, you're not good enough. Please keep that mask on at all times. Please.
Yeah, that was
and it was his boyfriend.
I know.
On top of that, like, yeah, that's enough to make you run around with a mask on and just beat some folks up for real. Like that. That is it.
And then even the fact that he is bequeathed his
he
his
willed
wealth
him.
and like they made a point of saying he's at the.
It was in the
mansion.
Wikipedia. If you watch the
Right,
Wikipedia, he's in the will. He got everything, and he's got he also inherited a movie theater.
Correct.
So he's got that. I don't know if he's gonna get a whole bunch of folks in there and flash and stuff, but he got so you're good enough for me to share my bed with, even put you in a wheel. Well, but I can't let people see you with me, and that's heavy, man. That's.
Yeah. Yeah, but that episode sticks out. I mean, I haven't seen the season finale yet. I'm pretty sure that will.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Sunday night is appointment viewing. I can't wait. Put the kids out the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the runtime. I'm wondering, is it going to be an hour? Is it
It's
going to be 2
have
hours?
to be 3 hours if they're not going to come back with a new season. But it's HBO. They'll come back 3 years later. With,
And the reason why we started watching this series, my husband and I, was for Regina King.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a real big Regina King fan.
I'm glad you said that because I was wondering like what was your entryway into Watchmen? Like right. I know you're into Star Trek and stuff, and maybe
she likes the geek stuff. Nah.
But like even watching Star Trek, it's like to jump from Star Trek to Watchmen is kind of a like.
And even the movie, when I saw the movie, you know what I liked the most about the movie?
What?
The soundtrack.
Oh.
Yes, right.
I loved it. But we watched
Jimi Hendrix and Along the Watchtower and
Songs
all that stuff.
of Silence.
Right.
Yeah. But that's why we started, just to see Regina King, because we think she's a good actress.
Yeah. She's a great actress.
She
absolutely.
is.
She's
Little did we know we'd be hooked in immediately. And we were.
Gosh.
Yeah. Dead silence. There's no words. It's just it's
yeah.
great.
Regina King is awesome. She I think didn't she just sign a deal with like Netflix or something where she's going to create a bunch of content?
So. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's making moves, man.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful actress, man. Wonderful actress.
And she made a point saying, "I'm going to hire, people of color and make it diversity is going to be her thing."
Well,
that doesn't mean everybody's got to be black either.
Right. Because that's not diversity.
Right.
If everybody's black, that's not diversity.
Right.
It's not. Yeah.
Right.
But did I read that a lot of the Watchmen writers are black?
I read an interview with Dr. Manhattan's character. I can't.
Yaha Abdul.
I mess his name up.
Yala Abdul Mateen.
Yes. The second.
Yes.
He commended Damon Lindelof on his willingness to defer to the wisdom of writers of color.
Okay.
For many of the concepts, because he's wise enough to know that he cannot relate and may make mistakes. He was talking about how honorable that was, and we actually mentioned it because there had to have been that going on. So,
and women in the room too.
Right. As I don't know what the makeup of the writer's room is, they have made a point to say that there are writers of color in there that have been providing their input as it relates to the content and making sure that, you know, it's well received and accurate and stuff like that. Especially considering a guy that did not know about the Tulsa, you know, massacre before now. So he would have had to have gotten some information from someone with more authority and could speak to it with a little more passion behind it.
He echoed what he felt when he read Ta-Nehisi Coates' book.
Yes.
Between the World and Me. And I just like the thoughtfulness and going, like, being able to understand his role in it, and maybe some of his all of us have biases. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us do. And being able to be sensitive to it and realize that we have a flaw, and being able to have the leadership, because I think that's what makes a good leader too, somebody, and that's what he was a good leader of that particular show, to be able to surround yourself with good people and be able to listen,
right,
and take advice and be humble enough to go, you know,
you might know more than not in this particular area,
right? Yeah,
so that's wisdom.
Or I'm gonna bounce this off of you guys. Like, he probably proposed some things and like, whoa, wait a minute, you can't.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. That's gonna, you know, it's not going to connect with the intended audience. Right.
He's got a resume where he could be arrogant enough to do that, but
right. And then, mind you, he's not making this a black show.
No.
You know,
no.
he's
It's
making
not.
it a broader, like, that would be doing it a disservice.
Right.
Like,
No.
yeah,
you know, it's,
again, that's not diverse.
right.
It's just a black show.
Right.
No.
No.
And see, some people will paint it as that because some of the main protagonists are black.
Well,
you know?
yeah.
Well, see, that's one of the problems with Discovery, Star Trek Discovery. Some people don't like that show as well because the main character is a black woman.
She's
The one
Vulcan.
from- the
She's
one from-
Vulcan though. Like,
Oh, is
I
she
know.
Vulcan?
Yes,
the
yes,
one from
she's
Walking
Vulcan.
Dead?
Yes.
The girl from Walking Dead?
Yeah.
She's Vulcan. I
She's
didn't know she was Vulcan.
Well, she was
Sonequa
raised-
Martin Green.
Yeah.
She was raised by Vulcan parents because her parents died.
Oh, so is
So
she
she's
just,
not Vulcan, but she was raised by
I
Vulcan
see,
parents.
I see.
She was raised by Spock's parents.
Oh, that's right.
What?
But did they put ears on? Like, how does she have does she have?
No, she doesn't have the ears.
But she's not Vulcan if she wouldn't have them, right?
She doesn't have the
She's
ears.
just a human that was
I need to watch that again. I don't know if I'm putting ears on her.
It's that does she have all the demeanor and the behavior?
She does.
Yes.
But that's
She
probably
does.
what it is.
That's
She's
what it
probably
is.
just-
Her acting.
Yeah.
Okay,
She
that's
acts
what it
like
is.
a Vulcan.
You're
So
right.
you just automatically put the little elf ears on.
Yeah, and so the show is told from her
That's
perspective.
crazy that I've done that. Like,
But
I
it's
just
I'm
not.
gonna have
It's
to
not
get
a
on
black
that.
show.
I'm gonna have to
but
get
people
in
think
that.
it's a black show.
The captain's black. My goodness.
She's not the captain.
Oh, she's not.
No.
Oh, she's not.
no.
But she's the main character.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Now that's a departure.
Yeah,
Correct.
it
Usually
is.
the captain is always the main
It
character.
is. I saw a poster recently with all the captains, and she's in there. I thought, she's not a captain.
Because you automatically think that the main character of any Star Trek property is the captain.
It is.
Well,
Normally.
maybe that's why they put her in because pretty much that was the running, like you said, that's the running thing. Like Deep Space Nine. It's
Yeah.
you know.
Everybody. Janeway, captain.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
then,
How do we get there?
I don't. Star Trek.
Star
But we
Trek.
were saying
It's the
that
greatest.
Watchmen is not a black show.
Yes, right.
That's,
Yes, it's not a black show.
Yeah,
Right.
But it's a really good show.
right.
very good.
It's black and white. See what I did there? See the themes, the black and white.
Yeah. There's so many things I want
So many.
answered.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I kind of just give me a hint about Panda, like something.
Nah, that dude, he's just chilling, man. He's just
Yeah.
let me wear my dirty panda helmet and just authorize the use of deadly force,
Right.
which could probably be used. to
Scare and Pirate Jenny. I would love to
Yeah, they
just
didn't.
get a
They,
little.
they haven't
didn't
bothered
touch
going
them.
into that. Yeah,
Right.
Not enough time.
Right. Well, I think it's intentional. I don't think they were major role players in this
Right.
thing, even though they were kind of waiting out, trying to keep Angela in, which was
that
was a whole different thing.
I just find it interesting that guy's Russian, and you know the whole thing with Watchmen before was the Russians were the enemy, Cold War, and then that Cold War thing died after the squid fall. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now we're all cool and not just people just don't like blacks in this show. You Russian, you cool. You don't like no black.
I wonder if there's. I wonder in Watchmen universe if there was some logic behind that, because you remember. Well, I guess Vietnam was occupied by the communists.
Yeah.
So because they had Borscht burgers, and it was like this fusion. They made an intentional, it's a fusion of communists and America. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
who knows? We'll probably get his story season 2 because I got the feeling that money talks and they're not gonna leave none on the table.
I'm scared of that. It's like I want it too. I want it, but I'm scared that it's not gonna make this.
I'm saying, how do you top this season? How do you do it? I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
This show is so good that even the title of the last episode was amazing. Yes,
and that was a play on one of the issues that was mentioned in the book, right?
Right.
Except it was just ABar.
Okay.
But they because I think that's probably why they named her Angela ABar from the very. See, that's how forward thinking they are.
Right.
From the very beginning, we're gonna call her ABar to prepare for that moment.
Right. Exactly.
Like that's so forward thinking.
They have and title here's all the chapters
and use the old title from the book, but put the A and the bar together. It's like they knew they did it on purpose.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yes. Brilliant.
And writers are throwing their transcripts in the garbage. I mean, their manuscripts in the garbage. They're throwing them in the garbage out of frustration.
Because these writers are so good.
They are so good.
Yeah.
We're not frustrated. We are very happy to have gotten, and I should have done this at the front.
Oh, you're good.
To have gotten a 10th member of the Patreon supporters, the Patreon financial supporters. We have gone from District 9 to Mandarin's 10 Rings, as submitted by Mr. 1%. I liked it and ran with it. The 10 Rings of the Mandarin.
Unless we can come up with a different, if they come up with something better.
Okay, yeah.
They got 10 in it, so I just...
You got a 10 in it, we can go with it. So we like to take this time at the conclusion of this podcast to thank those who have submitted both their time as well as their financial contribution to the podcast out on patreon.com/EST1982 podcast. Again, that is patreon.com/EST1982 podcast. Now, I'd like to start with, of course, my lovely wife for being a supporter, both financially and in every other way manageable to this endeavor. Thank you so much. We have Raphael M. Jordan. We've got Jamal Weidman representing Philly. We've got Enigmatic 52, a.k.a. Brandon King. Thank you so much for your support. We have Terrence, Don't Call Me Richie, Rich. Militant Billy. We have Militant Billy, a.k.a. Mage TV, as well as the Professor. Root to my fat bros there. We've got Johnny Prototype out there in California representing, and Tori Moore in the ATL, and a new one. Welcome, sir, Mr. Jim Stumbaugh. Thank you so much for your support. If you are listening to this podcast and you feel that what you have heard is worthy of your time as well as your dollar, go out to patreon.com/EST1982 podcast and do that. And for that, we will be so grateful and shout you out as we have the 10 Rings of the Mandarin tonight.
And there's different levels, different levels of support.
Yes, so from anywhere from $1 to $25 you can support.
Right.
To help keep the lights on this podcast. Thank you so much. Aunt Lisa, thank you.
Yes, thank you
so much.
Right.
And it's almost the holiday season again.
It's time.
Get the wine out. And actually, the sangria was it. That's what it was.
Okay.
Sangria.
Oh, you make drinks.
She makes man, she be cooking. She make the sangria.
What's the favorite dish? What you cook?
Oh, they love my macaroni and cheese.
It is it is very good. It is very good. But she has everything out there. It's just everything. And then we sit down and talk about nerd stuff.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Star Wars is coming up.
Star Wars
is that
well, she's actually not, as most Star Trek fans are very either you're a fan or the other. It's almost like
sacrilegious.
Yes, it's like White Sox, Cubs, Yankees, Mets. It's like you can't be both, right? But she's very open.
I will see Star Wars.
She will see.
I don't have to be there on opening night.
No.
But I will see it.
Right, but now you made mention of you watched The Mandalorian though, right?
No.
You don't watch The Mandalorian?
No.
Ooh. Oh, you don't have Disney Plus?
No.
Okay.
But your daughter said all we have to do is
What did my daughter
download it.
Yeah, my daughter, look, she's selling it. Boy, see the marketing strategy of they got little kids, runners.
And she don't even want to watch The Mandalorian. She's trying to watch
Kim
Possible or something.
Right. Yeah, man. She actually watched Ruby Bridges.
Wow.
Yeah, man. She's into the Ruby Bridges, and that's some serious themes in there. But she's that's the type of my son don't care about that. He don't care about that. Where the Spider-Man at? He's binging Spider-Man, the animated stuff. But again, Lisa, thank you so much.
Yes,
this is great. Every podcast gets better and better, and we're approaching the finale, y'all. Man, it's about to go down. Appointment viewing this Sunday, and it'll be just me and you, Mr. 1%, won't it?
Right.
Yeah, man. Count the days. All right. But again,
It's
y'all.
gonna be interesting. A lot of reaction. I'm pretty sure
Oof.
gonna happen on that one.
Oof.
A lot of things will get revealed.
Or maybe not.
Will the plane land?
All right, let's see.
That's
He'll probably land next season.
right.
He ain't landed this season. He need a 4-hour episode to do that. Patreon.com/EST1982 podcast, y'all. You can go to the EST1982 podcast is a website. Also, of course, every social media outlet, right? At ESPN.
Wow.
EST. I got Disney on the brain. EST 1982 podcast on every social media platform. The main ones, obviously, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, people, we will holler at you.